So we'll start with the most important part of the home is actually the water. Water will kill a home faster than fire. The only thing that takes a home out faster than a flood would be an act of God like a tornado or hurricane. We don't have too many of those here in Colorado, so let's look at the water first. Water in a home comes in from underneath the home because your water lines are ran in the dirt and your home is built on top of that. This holds true for your sewer lines as well. Everything is underneath your home. So the water feeds from underneath the home upward. If you have a water leak in your home, that's in an inaccessible area, meaning not necessarily right at a sink, right at a toilet where there is a cutoff for that fixture, you may need to kill the water to the entire home. So you would need to come to the water service. Now, we call this a water meter housing. This is the actual meter that's installed by the utility company. It's a digital readout. These guys have, this cord goes all the way up to this. This is a wireless transponder, meaning traditional or classic water meters, there would have to be someone that walks onto your property, reads that meter, writes it down, and reports it that way. But in a modern home, it's wireless, so they actually do your meter reading from the street. But let's say there is a leak and you need to kill the water. You don't know where it's coming from. You're getting a flood. In modern homes, we give you a couple places to do that. This is your first. I just killed the water to the entire home. Now in a modern home, gas and water levers are usually quarter turn to the right, clockwise. So when you're looking at it, quarter turn clockwise, I just killed the water to the entire home just now. I'm gonna turn it back on. There is usually at least one lever before your water meter. There's usually a lever after as well, which would be right here. So either one of these, I just killed the water to the home. So let's look at the entire path of water flow. It's going to start here. It's going to flow up. Then it's going to travel through the meter. And now it's going to feed the home and the yard. So either of these levers anywhere before it feeds the house will kill the water to the home. So you can throw it here, you could throw it there. Either one will be doing just fine. The reason why there's two is when it's time to replace this, we'll throw it here, we'll throw it here. This stops any reverse flooding when it's time to replace this unit here, your water meter. And so I'll turn the water back on. So that's how you kill the water to your home to prevent flood. But Dustin, what about if I have a leak in my yard? It's an irrigation leak. There are different branches that Y off of this guy that will feed your yard. This one is actually, where is it on this one? You know what? The irrigation feed on this one's a little different because we have this new tankless hot water heater. We may have just stuck that in a different place. I'll look at that for irrigation. No two homes are exactly the same, so long as it's in the home. Generally speaking, right around this area is when the water service feeds the house, and then we'll go and feed your yard. And your yard will have its own kill lever as well. And, excuse me, there's an irrigation head we'll take a look at on the outside of the home, which also is what you would want to kill to feed any floods in your yard. That's also what you want to turn off when fall comes, when it starts to be below freezing at night, to prevent any of that freezing from your water lines in your yard. So that is, generally speaking, the water, how it feeds the house and the yard. Now let's look at the generalization of your plumbing system. The first thing I look at right here is, this is a new hot water heater. We still have the plastic on it. Water heaters are the most expensive appliances, generally speaking, next to these guys here, furnaces. They're two very expensive appliances to run. Most traditional homes have the big water tank that sits on the ground. It's not necessarily this device that mounts up to the wall. On a tank versus a tankless, the only difference is the tank stores several gallons of water, usually 45 to 55 gallons. We have 75-gallon hot water tanks. This one does not store heated water. This makes it on demand, whereas the hot water heater takes longer to heat the water, so it stores a bunch of heated water, whereas when you deplete that tank, you're gonna have to wait for when the tank refills for that water to heat up. Whereas on a tankless, as soon as you turn on any hot faucet, this has a high efficiency rate of heating water to where it no longer is coming from a tank, it comes right from this guy.
So,
good questions.
If you've ever had a teenager in your house, or if you are a teenager and you've taken a long shower or filled up a really big tub, and then somebody that came in behind you started screaming because they didn't have any water left, that is an indication that there was an empty water tank.
Indeed. Whereas on this guy, you can have someone running a tub, someone running a sink, you could be doing laundry, all at the same time, and it will never be depleted. It's just making that amount. These are a lot more expensive, generally speaking, but they're also much more energy efficient. On this side is an energy guide sticker. It's one of these. These are great stickers when shopping for any appliance. It could be a microwave, refrigerator, dishwasher, hot water heater, furnace. These tell you your efficiency rating and generally what an annual operating cost is. This guy shows the bar all the way to the left, which is your least expensive. Let's take a look up here at this guy. This is part of the plumbing system as well. This is what's known as an expansion tank. So in your plumbing system, let's say you take a shower before you go to work or wash your hands. You use some hot water before leaving for an extended period of time. Now, all of the hot water in these lines, this is a 3/4 inch line, this is a thicker line, that's all full of hot water. Now, as you leave, that water cools down during the day. As it cools, we know that hot things expand, cold things contract. As that water turns cold, it contracts this pipe, which increases the water pressure in that line. So we've all seen old cartoons and videos, you would hear the dripping faucet in an older house. The purpose of that, or the reason why that happened, is because all that hot water that was in the line got cold, the pressure increased in the hot water line, and now the only thing stopping that from bursting out of your faucets are the little O-rings in those faucets. What this tank does is take all of that excess pressure and relieve it off of your O-rings of your faucet. Takes all that built up pressure and puts it in this expansion tank so that you do get so much more life out of your faucets. You shouldn't have any leaking faucets when it comes to something like this. So this is what's known as an expansion tank.
And you have these expansion tanks regardless of whether you have a tankless or a tank?
Great question. Yes, ma'am. Every plumbing system in a modern home will have this. It is a code requirement on a modern home so that you do get more life out of your plumbing fixtures. So older homes may not have this. However, this is a very easy, cheap mod that you can do on a home that doesn't currently have this. Just a basic install guide of these expansion tanks that come with it, or you can obviously look it up online. These are very easy to install, and you will prolong the life of all of your plumbing fixtures by a great margin.